How is it possible that man has moved from this sense of building for eternity into building for expediency? The seventh rule for life is do what is meaningful and not what is expedient. Now this enters into a whole new world of psychological dynamism. To do what is expedient would seem to be the natural thing to do. And I think that Dr. Peterson is beginning here to see a transcendent meaning in life. Why are we here? It seems to be much more expedient to look after ourselves, to do only enough work to get us by, to never stretch ourselves would seem to be the expedient thing. And I speak from some experience. When I was in engineering school, we had a professor who would teach us directly, what's the point of getting above 51% in the exam? If the pass mark is 50, do enough to pass. Why get an A or a B? It explains my score sheet at the end of my term. But the point he was making is that within the human structures that we have created, particularly within engineering, to do extra, to do more, is expensive. It costs more concrete, more steel to build a bridge that will stand for 100 years when you only need it to stand for 20. And we see that in the very fabric of our cities. How many buildings now are built for a century or a lifetime? Most houses have a 20-year lifespan. Most office buildings less than that, without constant repair and renewal. How different then those great cathedrals and palaces that were built by previous generations that are still standing, millennia later sometimes. How is it possible that man has moved from this sense of building for eternity into building for expediency? Can I build this now quickly and get the rewards quickly, even if I have to then build it again and again and again and again and again? And so Dr. Peterson, I think, when he talks about this, is talking about self-fulfillment. Do what is meaningful and not what is expedient. Try and do things that last in your life, that have meaning, true meaning. Now, the derivation of meaning can expand here all sorts of directions, but in a Catholic concept, that meaning has to be look after your spiritual soul. Look after that light of sanctifying grace that was given to you with baptism and which you have tended so carefully. Make sure that never goes out. And in the process, you will have all the graces necessary to do the good that you are brought into this world for, to perfect that light. Again, the image comes back, as St. Therese would say, of the different vessels that carry water. There is a small jar and a large jar, and both are filled to the brim. And this represents our happiness, our ultimate happiness in heaven. Both jars are full. They are both completely satisfied. But there is a qualitative difference between the size of one and the size of other. One holds significantly less grace than the other. And that's a fixed position when we die. But it is a movable position when we're alive. And our lives should be spent, I think, chasing down those things that are truly meaningful in order to expand the size of our own individual container, to change its diameter and its depth and its volume, to be capable of holding more grace in this world. And so that when we finally go to meet our Maker, when this veil of shadows comes to an end, our container is large enough to not only be completely full, but to be completely different and altered in shape and size from the one originally given us. That would be, I think, the participation of our life with God in this world. And so therefore, self-fulfillment in a meaningful way means looking and examining our life for those meaningful things. Family, friendship, the pursuit not of happiness, but of charity